Yeah, we're over here now. We've done a pair on my channel this season, so neither of us will qualify for caster or co-caster. Yeah, but that's a lot. That would be like 20 games for each of like 20 games casted and co-casted, plus the 10 games we have to play just for the regular season. That's a lot of games. That is a true fact. Yeah, this is a heroic matchup, which is a rare state of the channel. But you know what? It's exciting to see some really like right below the Storm Division tier. Some of these people could even be in Storm Division, to be real honest. Uh, yeah, yep, indeed. So we do have double paradox against Brawl is Life, which is a true statement. Although I hear they're rebranding to Aram is Life in a future patch. Yeah, but they're going to have to rebrand in a future patch. Yeah, yeah, indeed. All right, Ektar. Well, I missed out on the coin toss. How'd we get here? I missed out on half the coin toss.
Volskaya Industries.
For sure, for sure. And we are here on Volskaya Foundry with that's unfortunate. I'm listening to your stream. It's just quiet. It's just silent right now. I can't even hear you. I mean, in the stream. Maybe I'm not. Ooh, I can hear me now. I can hear me now as I hear for sure, for sure.
So, there we
All right,
go. We
we're
hadn't changed the
good.
input source when we recreated this scene.
Yay. We only have to do this once a season at most, hopefully.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Definitely helps if you set up your desk mic as the one you're talking to and not your headset mic, which is currently muted.
Big brain play, indeed. All right, fast track this draft so far. If we can head to that scene, we've got Imperius and Diva banned out for, first. I was going to say by one team, but they're not by one team. And then Stukov and Ana taken out. Probably the two most generic healers and generic offlaners right now, so...
I'm a little
good.
bit surprised that Brawl is Life opted to get rid of Stab Daddy because they've played him in a lot of their recent games, but you know what? Yarel is one of those heroes that gets a lot of value in the high ranks, so I'm not terribly surprised to see that coming out here. I am a bit surprised at the Chromie, though. I have still seen her since the nerfs, but definitely not to the same degree as before.
Yeah, not nearly as oppressive as once was, but still strong on the point-based maps. I know this would be my favorite map for her currently. So good with that. Ektar, have you moved to the draft screen? Out of curiosity, just want to get you to check that.
I sure haven't.
We'll get that in 45 seconds.
Yep.
Or right now when you're hearing.
Definitely need
'Cause-
to handle some of these keybinds and stuff. I just don't have everything quite as set up as I'm used to. But you know what? Hopefully by the time the stream is over, we'll have all these issues worked out, and the next stream will go a lot smoother.
Yeah, as you would expect. Yeah. Or just, get another monitor. Trademark. Should do that.
I mean, I definitely
Pretty
should,
good.
but it'll also mean that I need to get like a new desk, because my current one
Yeah.
won't fit 2 monitors, and
That's disappointing.
I'm one of those poor college student types, so maybe for Christmas.
Yeah. Understandable. Have a nice desk space. Tychus banned out by Double Paradox. That's an interesting one.
It is,
Uh,
and it kind of prompted a gall ban, and kudos to Brawl's Life for banning the lesser represented of the 2 ogre halves.
That is accurate. Ooh, a little off on the text as well on that one, but that's all right in the draft scene. But you know what? That is unimportant because it's still very readable.
Oh yeah, they're just floating a little bit too high. That does not matter all that much, though. Also the numbers,
Yep.
but whatever.
The wait is
The
over.
Yep.
Jim Raynor is like just the most standard damage dealer in the game right now, and he's got a decently high win rate for being so ubiquitous, so you'll love to see that pick up. Deckard Kane,
Sure
I
do.
only like seeing because this is heroic and they've got that good CC trains going on most of the times. In low ranks, I think Deckard is just kind of a bad hero since the Ruby nerf, but with the heroic teams, in theory, being able to make better usage of the CC Deckard brings, I really like to see it.
Ooh, we have a Deathwing picked up last for
I-
Double Paradox.
I think Drunk Dwarf favors Deathwing a little bit. I think it's one of the heroes that he personally likes, and I've seen a couple of games of him in the past, and he does really good work on the aspect of the former aspect of Earth.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We've got Urel against Deathwing as a soul lane matchup, and ETC May on the main tanks. That seems to be pretty standard right now. So yeah, things are shaping up to be a pretty nice match here, or at least a very nice game 1 here on Volskaya Foundry.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Just, I don't see all that many heroic games, and seeing them in first person is a lot more interesting than watching them when someone else is casting. Admittedly, there's 5 people
Yeah,
in
for
here
sure.
who think that it's at least interesting enough to watch us try to fumble through casting. But you know what? I
That's a
appreciate it,
mistake. It's a mistake, but we appreciate the mistake.
y'all. So looking at the 2 teams, who do you think won draft?
I couldn't tell you. They're pretty close enough. The only reason I would favor one over the other is because I like the heroes more personally, but that's literally it. So, yeah, I got nothing for you, Ektar.
And an immediate pause coming out. I don't even know if all the heroes are done spawning on the... Oh, they're just barely done spawning on the map. Technical issue coming out on the side of Brawl's Life. We don't even have any level 1 talents to look at yet. That was so fast.
And yeah, we can't discuss anything besides introducing the players.
We can
And
at least do that. But do we really
yeah.
want to do that during a pause?
I don't think you do that during a pause.
I don't either.
No.
I think we just ramble.
All right. Rambling time. Ektar, who do you think it comes out on this draft a little bit? You know, I'm gonna Uno reverse card this on you.
All right.
How do you think this draft
I
went?
love a gym laner on most maps, but especially this one because it lets you get those camps nice and fast. Almost certainly because it's a heroic matchup, the teams are going to have the coordination that they rotate the appropriate amount of damage dealers to take the camps efficiently anyway. So I don't know that just having a gym laner makes them that much more favored in the camp taking in heroic as compared to other divisions. And as far as fighting on the point, I think Chromie is a more potent mage than Gul'dan most of the time. So I think in the early game I have to give it to Brawler's Life in that regard only.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think with the matter of having your Urel Chromie ETC can just take and kind of destroy a whole bunch of space. I've heard hints that May the hero may not be as good as we are led to know, but I would kind of disagree. I think she's pretty damn good, but not entirely sure. Deckard versus Lucio, I favor Lucio, but again, a good Deckard play can easily compensate for such a thing, so I don't know. It might be tough to land some of his CC combos because Mei doesn't create the most predictable CC, and there's no other clean CC sources on the side of Double Paradox, so might be a little tough time dealing with this hero, although the gem penetrate around is, I hear, a very good thing.
It's a pretty strong ability. Looking back over to Brawl is Life, with coordination, and they should definitely have that on lockdown. They have a lot of potential ability to just displace a hero, considering who they have lined up. They've got ETC for a slide knockback, Lucio for a knockback, and then Yrel for a knockback and stun. Just getting word that I Just Fizzed might be ill. Well, we already knew he was not feeling well, but...
Yeah. Yeah, they asked if they could sub in after the draft started.
I'd love to be able to answer that question. Let's see...
Here, let's slap it in our chat. I know they're there.
I don't have any of these people on my friends list, so I can't
I've
actually
got it.
respond. That is the downside of being an observer and not a referee, is we can't actually talk to them or
Nope.
anything. FPS
Yep.
8 likes Bill's draft. I kind of like their draft.
Brawl
too.
its life.
Yeah, but it's easier and slightly more entertaining to me to say Bill. I hope they're not upset by that, and I probably won't do it for the most part.
Yeah.
But because we are now, in fact, just killing time, checking out some of the skins that people have selected on, I just was going with the armored Cassia with the blue tint. I do like this.
I like that one.
I like this tint of the Lucio skin as well. It's got good color synergy, and it's kind of a big inversion.
It's a classic green, yeah.
On his colors, like it's got the classic green and yellow, but it's dark overall instead of just the lighter metallic color. And I really like the face covering version from his base skins. Chromie,
Yeah.
I think that's just the classic purple master skin.
It is.
Rest in peace, master skins.
R.I.P.
We've got the Yrel skin
Now with mastery
with the,
rings.
The unicorn, actually, on the hammer. That's pretty adorable, and I'd never noticed that before, because how often during a game do you get to look this closely at everything, honestly?
That is a good point there.
And then
You
ETC rocking one of his many classic skins. They're all very good. And I like that color palette as well.
Yeah.
On
Overall,
the other side,
yeah, pretty good.
we have basic level 1 Deckard Cain, which is kind of awesome in its own right.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to just beat Deckard Cain's regular skin, and he looks more appropriate on a horse than most heroes.
Accurate.
For Mei, is that the base skin?
That's a base skin as well, but
Base
riding
skin
an
Mei, but hiding a mutant crab monster,
an ice mutant crab monster.
which is admittedly appropriate.
True fact.
Though to be fair, why would you be playing Mei and not be wearing panda colors? You
That
could.
is a good question.
I have mixed feelings about the Deathwing skin. I don't really like the Dark Nexus Deathwing in general. I think it makes him just too spiky, which was a big problem with the original Master skins. In my opinion, like Diablo's Master skin is just spikes on spikes on
Bonus spikes. So that's a Diablo
spikes all
aesthetic.
day. It
That's the
is,
Diablo aesthetic, is like fickle shoulder pads with more spikes.
But that Deathwing skin, it's okay, but I definitely like some of the bright colored ones for the original version. Gul'dan is the green Dark Nexus on the monochrome green horse. I think it's good color synergy, and love to see it. I don't think that they work together thematically very well, but the color scheme is definitely on point. And finally, we've got the what the heck is that film
Hellraiser?
franchise called? Yeah, Hellraiser or Mad Max kind of
Mad Max.
aesthetic.
I was wondering if it was Mad Max, but I wasn't sure and didn't want to make a fool of
I
myself.
mean, Hellraiser you got with the flaming skull, but the overall kind of grungy aesthetic is very Mad Max, and the horse matches very well as well. So
Yeah.
it's nicely done.
Yeah. Well,
Overall,
there are about
I
3
do
minutes.
think Brawl is Life wins the skin game, but only
Yep.
slightly.
Yep. What else? Let's see. We've got a couple more minutes left before F to Deathstrike, who sent a message in team chat. Somebody always puts it in team chat. Genuinely,
Now I'm just kind of checking out the giant robots on the map. I like this one in the just below the red base.
oh yeah, the new mechs. The lore of the level, if you wish.
Yeah, so anyone that hasn't
cutting.
played Overwatch, there were robots created. All right, we're actually going to be going.
Yeah.
They're just going to be losing fast, so that hopefully they have a substitute standing by, so they'll be able to get
Fizz some medical attention.
Yeah. Please state the nature of your medical emergency.
Puking.
Yeah.
That's it. Do we get a count in?
We do
We're
get a
counting in with negative 32
negative 32
seconds on the clock.
On the clock. Spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, they are Double Paradox with Death by Maze not playing May and is in fact playing Gul'dan. Drunkdorf playing the signature Deathwing. Sweet Buns is in fact playing May. Vivanchi is playing Deckard Kanan. Death Strikes is playing Jim Laner.
10 seconds.
And on the right side of the map, in the red trunks, we have Brawl is Life with Albatox playing the Chromie, Eladin playing ETC, Ruckdell playing Lucio, Wipeout playing Urel, and the very, very ill I Just Fizzed playing Cassia. Best wishes for you, friend.
Hopefully there's not going to become I Just Puked at any point in this game.
I don't want to know what the Fizzed is. Looking at the level 1 talents, we do have deep breathing here for the Chromie, which has fallen out of favor with the recent nerfs. Win rate went down from like 55 to 47 globally, so it took a big hit.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That's
here.
all well and good. We've got a Drain Life Gul'dan coming out,
Oh gosh.
which has been the highest win rate on Heroes Profile for a hot minute now, but I don't ever see it played and think, wow, that was really effective Drain Life Gul'dan play coming out. Mostly because the Gul'dans that I play with refuse to do it and or just kind of die a lot. We do have the Drain Life coming out now. It's giving the suck onto Ruckdal, going to keep him nice and topped off. But very early advantage going over in favor of Brawl is Life. However, it's going to start going over in the other favor as Drunkdorf's been soaking in the bottom lane just a little bit more than Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout went and enabled the mid-rotation to let Cassia and Lucio come down here, pick up that turret camp, so all will be balanced out in the end, unless Sweet Buns and the rest of Double Paradox make an invade happen. Fizzed in a lot of trouble. They're picking on the sick guy, understandable. Eladin slides in and does get a good hit onto Jim Raynor, and that is first blood of the game, but the counter kill is already picked up, and we have esports occurring on the button. Deathwing takes control of the button, but down a player. Double Paradox can't hold on to this point, and Drunk Dwarf taken out. Counter kill on the Fizzed happens. 2 for 2, and I don't even know who got the turret, Ektar. Ooh, third kill.
There it is. Sweet Buns has it. Sweet Buns has the turret. 2 kills to 3, but they did pick up a turret, so who's to say who came out ahead from that? Probably
The observers.
yeah, and the audience.
Yeah.
The XP did go over to Brawl is Life, so I think slight advantage for them. They got one more kill in the XP from the camp, but they lost the actual unit from it, so it does give opportunity for Double Paradox to pick up their own and be up 2 items, though, so that could be where the real advantage comes in later.
Yep, always a possibility. Yep, Gul'dan continuing Drain Life. You get the 100% cooldown reduction while channeling it, and you get the instant refresh if you kill something during it. So, yep.
It is a lot of self-sustain, because you can just
It really
suck a
is.
minion, and if it dies while you're sucking, you get another free suck. And,
Yeah, I'm
one of the
wondering.
problems with Gul'dan is, not having passive mana regen, so you have to do that life tapping. If you can just constantly suck on things, then you have... And Drain Life costs no mana, which is one of its big advantages as well. So you can use that ability constantly without draining your own life and actually restoring it instead. Big team fight coming out on top of the heal camp. Sweet Buns is in there like Swimwear to get a big root from Vector Kane, but there's just a lot of damage being put into Gul'dan. He's going to go down. Sweet Buns is still on the point, but it looks like he's going to try and get on out of there. The heal camp is picked up by ETC, and Sweet Buns is... God, he's just not dying.
Rubies.
Still so strong. When you can activate it, it's just you can only activate it about half as often as before, but that's okay because he picked up a different gem on level 1, so you got a gem basically every time you put down a W.
I'm actually liking, like, as I've seen, I'm starting to really like the Ruby and Sapphire build. I mean, he got 12 rubies out of that cast of the Roderick Cube. That is insane healing. That is more than 2 Ancestrals worth of healing, and it took that much to keep Sweet Buns alive there. So, actually, just an insane talent overall.
So I said what feels like forever ago in this cast that I think these two teams have a chance of being pretty evenly matched. Not only do they have relatively even points per game. Very nice kill coming out on the MTC there, and a counter kill coming out onto Sweet Buns in the May. Rectal is barely going to make it out of there, sub 100 hit points. I Just Fizzed is not going to survive either, I don't think. You got to keep moving, keep that armor up, and they are going to get taken out by the Corruption Tick damage. I was, trying to say before, I think the two teams are even because they've already both played against Archon. Double Paradox didn't take a game, and Brawl's Life did take a game. However, Double Paradox in one of their other series got a 2-1 victory over Richard and Ree, which are currently tied for points with Brawl's Life. So there's definitely a realistic chance that either team can win this series.
Yeah, good parity here overall. I like what I'm seeing. We already have 11 kills. Don't make me a liar. 11 kills in the first barely over 5 minutes of this game. This is a bloody game so far, Ektar.
Game. Normally those are the games that end with like 5 kills or less total, and both teams have that many already. It's a very bloody game for a heroic showdown. Going into the top lane, they are going to get that well, but they are deep in enemy territory where Chromie's already got her heroic, and that's going to be a kill on a Death Strikes. No chance he actually gets on out of there. Sweet Buns is going to pop the trait, and will likely be stopped from getting out of here as well. There's the slide from ETC securing that kill. We do have the level 10s just getting picked up now for Brawl's Life. There we go. We've got the Mosh Pit, the Beat Drop from Lucio, the Ardent Defender, Ball Lightning, and the Slowing Sands. All kind of what you'd expect coming out of the heroes.
Yeah, that's a nice play by the Chromie to just drop the Slowing Sands right where the heroes are going to pop out, and they immediately just got essentially rooted in place there as ETC dropped a knockback on them.
And with those kills that they got, they were actually able to get the well parity in the top lane, so no major advantage over for either team going into that second objective.
Yep. Fight looking to break out over this regen camp for the second time. Ults are up. Do we see the Avalanche? It does connect on two, and with ETC going down, that's a clean fight win for Double Paradox. And did I just see Reign of Destruction?
Yeah, that's normally what we call that heroic. Definitely. As well as we have the Avalanche stay a while, we've got the Cataclysm upgrade, Rainer's Raider, and the Reign of what are definitely not memes.
That, wow.
I'd like to remind you, this is a heroic level game, and they, in seriousness, picked Reign of Destruction. I know that these players know something I don't, but I would love to know what that is. Yeah,
I mean, it does good. The whole point of Reign of Memes is that it drops good siege damage. There's a whole bunch of really interesting math that goes into why this is the ult that it is and what it can be used for, but basically if you, by the randomness spread, you're expected to hit like each hero twice with a meteor on average. That's a nice time trap there by not the team you would expect a time trap for. A little bit of counter production there. as Albatrox is now taken out, no timeout available. Deep drop comes in from Ructil, but Fizzed is in a really bad spot and is going to get taken out by the Gul'dan, tying the kill count up at 8 for each side as the top objective starts.
I wouldn't be 100% surprised if Drunkdorf just decided to drop the Cataclysm, knowing he's likely to get the reset very soon, but opting not to do it quite yet. Death by Maze taking quite a bit of damage as the fort's firing onto him as he's sucking on Ructil. He's really been sucking on Ructil a lot this game, and I'm going to keep saying that. We do have Super Pods coming out from Deckard Cain, which I don't think has been the standard in high-level play ever. Normally you always see the Ancient Blessings come up for that extra damage and teamfight sustain, so like... The Super Pods, I think, is a really interesting pickup here.
Well, they don't have great auto-attacking heroes. I mean, even if you pop it, you're not going to get a lot of value out of it, because Gul'dan shouldn't be in auto-attack range that much.
Plus, they have a Deathwing, so there's another
Yeah,
reason.
and the Deathwing is a big part of that, so I can see it for sure. Up in the top lane. You've gone it.
Deathwing soaking in the bot lane. He just took into the sky now, which gives opportunity for Brawl his life to force their opponents off the point. They're trying to maintain hold on it. Subuns is standing on the top lane, but now we've got the team fight breaking out in earnest. Death by Maze getting jumped on by Wipeout. Sweetbun's looking for an engage. He only finds one stun with the Avalanche onto Aegis because a big beat drop is going to save a ton of damage. There goes the Cataclysm. And the one-man Mosh is going to put a lot of damage into Gul'dan, and he is the first to fall here. Huge root coming out onto 2 is going to find a counter kill out onto Cassia. Adeline is trying to get on out of there. The Chromie does time trap herself, but is not able to really do any more than that.
What on earth is going on there? Kills and counter kills all over the place right now. 10 minutes, 10 kills for Double Paradox, 9 for Brawler's life as we're approaching the capture of this top Triglav Protector, and level 16's about a level closer for Double Paradox. So really kind of wild game going on right here.
Really is. We got the second Triglav of the game going over in favor of Double Paradox, and so normally what you do here is you just put a little bit of damage into the mid 4 and then go into the bot lane to try and get the advantage going into the third objective, which is the one that tends to win games. Let's see how the heroic teams do with that typical strategy. They are just going to put in a couple of incidental shots into that mid, but Gul'dan gets caught out in kind of a big way. Lucio does get the pushback, and that is going to secure the kill there. No one hopping out of there to try and save him. I think actually Deckard got out to let Gul'dan in, but he was killed just a little bit too fast. But that kill means it's going to be really difficult to actually try and push into this bot lane, although Wipeout is getting brought down pretty low already.
Yeah, that's a little bit of pursuit, led to a little bit of damage on both sides, but now the Triglav might be too low to go get that well due to the Chromie slowing sands being a threat on the way out. Ructil looking to make a play on a Death Strikes, but it does not come to fruition. I think that's going to be about it for this Triglav phase, although they are committing to this mid forward at least a little bit.
Yeah, but it's May and Deathwing.
Yeah.
No two harder heroes to stop on the side of Double Paradox than those two. I just even gets rooted out of their attempted engage, and that looks like it's a bit of a disengage, but Sweet Buns is in there. And that's been kind of the theme of the game. Sweet Buns is just constantly in there, misses the Avalanche.
Oh.
The beat drop comes out, maybe a little bit unnecessarily, as Adeline was not taking any further damage at that point, but it looks like, man, Double Paradox just like to esports a lot, and they
sure
drop
do.
the Rain of Destruction. That is almost certainly going to get this mid-port.
Now, siege damage is what it's good at. If I remember correctly, it does an average of like 12 or 13 meteor hits per Rain of Destruction, which totals a couple thousand damage onto structures. Pretty good at doing that. Third fight over this region camp, and that is a great mosh pit, but it does get interrupted by Deckard Cain. But it does still lead to the kill of Gul'dan at the bottom side. Fizzed and Ructil very low in the bottom, though. Drunkdorf trying to chase him down with the Old Man Companion. Nice job by Chromie to dodge the bite. But the 2 kills with Eladin and Ructil going down, Drunkdorf using all the body but locking power of the big Deathwing bites out Cassia. And that is 3 kills. Albatrox does make it out, but that is another 3 for 1, this time in favor of Double Paradox.
So, Gul'dan, right? He's suck
Gul'dan.
build. He gets jumped on hard in basically every engagement because that's kind of what Urel does and Wipeout in particular does.
Yeah.
I almost feel like the suck is just to keep him alive a little bit longer so that people force damage into him, and then the rest of the team just kind of cleans up.
Yeah, I was wondering if this build almost is like the ultimate mage bait build, where you just bait people and attacking them. Just like you get 75% bonus healing on 13, and then you get spell power, which increases your damage and healing at 16. So it's like, wow, that's got a real capability of just staying alive when you genuinely shouldn't.
Supans goes for a stun out onto ETC, does not get it, but gives the huge snowball cannon so that they can secure the heal camp. Wipeout had gone in pretty hard, but is going to run away just as hard, looking for some damage into Drunk Dwarf, and he's down to 2 armor plates. He's probably going to try and leave at this point. You know, I thought Urel was leaving, but then he jumps back in onto Gul'dan, because that's just the game. You just jump at Gul'dan. Speaking of, as this third objective is coming up, we know that there are 11 deaths on the side of Double Paradox. Care to guess how many of those are exclusively on Gul'dan?
I'm going to put down a 5 in that column.
You are underestimating by one. Slightly more than half their deaths have come out onto Gul'dan. That is, flame your allies in ARAM tier, but this is definitely a heroic match, and I don't even think it's bad play on May's part. I think that's just the strategy that's been run by Brawl his life, is to snipe out Gul'dan, which they've been having great success with, admittedly, but it's just the follow-on has been doing so well for Double Paradox.
Yep, Alvatox goes in, gets in a little bit of trouble, baits death by Maze Ford though, that forces out the 2 support ultimates. Here's Beat Drop and Stay a While have gone out. Eladin is the first to be taken out as that ETC goes down. Drunk Dwarf drops a Cataclysm over top and does find another kill onto the Chromie. I just fizzed running away from their life. Is probably going to get out with that 30 armor and a Lucio nearby. But yeah, another 2 kills over here for Double Paradox, and they do seem to be taking control of these later on team fights.
Alright, so I was watching in particular Death by Maze during that team fight. That was a ton of healing coming out from the suck there. Like, he went up from 30 to 70% health in about 1 W cast. So I kind of see it. Like, if you're going to get jumped on, you might as well get jumped on and be able to get a bunch of healing back out of it. Dropping the Rain of Destruction to just put a lot of damage into this bottom keep. And there's really no way, I think, that Brawl and his life are going to try and contest in the bottom lanes. This is just free real estate, as the Triglob is going to come barreling through this lane in 15 seconds.
Yeah, I was taking a look, and sure enough, I just watched Gul'dan against that Lucio. It's just like, wow, I'm low. I mean, he got hit by a bunch of... Drop down to 40 health. Lucio commits for the kill. He gets 1 potion heal, drops the suck, and he's at like 60% health. It's kind of crazy how strong that can be. And he's got 23,000 self-healing to go with it, topping the lobby. So that's the power of the suck bill. I can't make myself say it, sorry.
I mean, he's also holding up pretty well in hero damage, only 4k behind Jim Raynor, who is winning in the lobby overall. So definitely no slouch in that damage, even if he doesn't have the same degree of numbers that you would normally see in, like, in a corruption build.
Yeah.
Definitely putting out enough damage, and you know, it's single target, so that's generally the kind of damage you want anyway.
Yep, we do have perfect gems coming out. Here come the Rain of Destruction. That's going to do a lot of core damage. Gul'dan actually doesn't have a level 20 selected yet. He's being jumped on. Is that a theme of this game? But the Triglob is wailing away at the core, and at half health on the Triglob and less than that on the core. I think this is just game, and it is. It's Double Paradox. It takes game 1.
That was kind of wild, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no kidding.
26 total kills in a heroic game. I don't see that happen.
No. There was just a lot of... It was like, oh, do we want to take the camp? Well, they'll fight us over it. Okay, cool. Like, that's what happened all game. It's not like, we'll wait for advantageous opportunity in order to wait for their rotations to be divergent from ours in order to take this... It was like, let's go, let's throw fists. And that's what happened all game. Uh, so, you know what? That's the game that occurred. Yeah, Rain of Destruction dunks on cores. You're absolutely right. Um, and I think there are 55 meteors that fall that do however much damage apiece. And I think a core will average like 27 or 30 of them, which does a lot of damage when you add them all up. So, all right. Well, Brawler's Life might get a new DPS player for this next game,
Yeah.
and also we'll probably get first pick this game.
And you know what? I was really not at all surprised to see Brawler's Life pick up the Volskaya for game number 1.
Yeah. How many times have they gone there lately? Stats of the storming intensifies.
They'd only gone there once, but they had chosen to go there when they had lost the previous game. So they had the choice of map or hero pick, and chose to go to Volskaya over having first hero pick.
Interesting. Picking a map when you're not forced to in 2020. Interesting. Alright, well, waiting on the information for where we're going next. And I guess we'll just have to see. Soon.
Indeed.
Trademark. So because we picked up this cast at the last minute in kind of quotes, our original cast got
I found
moved,
out
and so
late last night that the cast we were originally signed up for wasn't going to happen, and I signed up for this one midday or so today.
Yeah, so we actually haven't dropped any of the, we haven't, like, gotten any of the scouting done for these teams, so we have no idea where they want to go.
Wait. What we are you talking about here?
You know where they want to go because you looked up stats of the storm, and I don't have
sure
Hero's
did.
profile. And I don't have Hero's profile pulled up. So, you are looking at data and have not scouted ahead of time, but nonetheless, that is the scenario we find ourselves in currently.
I think I might have stuff backwards, though.
That would be funny if we were calling the teams.
I sure have a bunch of things backwards. Oh my god.
Oh no, Double Paradox is... Oh no, oh no, Ektar.
I had them on the wrong sides.
Oh no. Oh no, and nobody in chat told us. You're on the team, people. Oh no.
Oh, I feel awful.
We had 8 minutes of pause. We were talking about the skins, people. Come on, help us out a little. Oh wait, Real August said it. Way up at the... You know what? Damn it.
Oh, there's so much wrong now.
Can we just, like, Alt F4? Can we just replay cast game 1?
Yeah, right.
Like, all you need to do is record the gameplay from the replay, and then just put like sound bites for every time we say Brawl is Life. Just say Double Paradox.
I just took it for granted that they were going to be on the correct sides and didn't ever stop to think about it because I'm like, oh yeah, all the names are familiar.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, Double Paradox lost game 1. No. Yes. Maybe. The team with I Just Fizz lost, which is Double Paradox. So therefore, they're down, and Brawl is Life won game 1. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so ruined for this game too. Fug. Oh gosh. What a comedy. Nate making sure to directly message me on Discord saying someone mentioned it.
Oh, did they?
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, August, Real August.
Alright.
just
Brawl
went
is
ahead and
Life, the
mentioned.
team with sweet buns, they picked the map and lost it.
Oh my god, they mentioned it twice 20 minutes ago, Ektar.
F.
Oh, we're so bad at this.
Absolutely.
Have we ever
worst.
casted before in our lives?
Not even once.
Oh my god. Can we just make... Oh. Oh, the humanity. I... I just watched the overlay flip back and forth like 4 times.
Yep. Yep.
Alright. You need to give 1 point to Brawl's Life, though, and 0 to Double Paradox, just to be sure.
Wait, what?
Brawl's Life, the team with sweet buns.
Yes.
1 game 1. They should have 1 point. Just making sure that this is all correct.
And they picked the map.
Maybe.
Double Paradox chose first pick. Brawl is
We're
Life
so-
had map pick. Yes.
We're ruined.
Yes.
We're ruined. That's less important. Just making sure the score is right is
Yep.
important. Brawl's Life has 1, Double Paradox has 0.
Alright, I think we are set up. My confidence is shaken for the entire cast. God, feel like just the biggest asshole.
Dude, imagine if you called the teams right the whole oh no. Alright, well. We're gonna make it up, you know what? We'll make it up. We'll fix it right for this game, and if we get a game 3, we'll be sure to get it right, and then yeah, that's what we'll do. I just fizzed, notably not in the lobby. So either replacement or more illness, but yeah, good. The response was good. Fantastic. We take these. No, that's a different team. Alright, bantering with the teams as we completely ignore everything else in our lives as we attempt to profusely apologize for a mistake.
Yup.
Oof.
Significant oofing has occurred.
Alright, you know what? Let's reset here, Ektar.
Yeah.
What's game 2? Where are we on? Who
I
picked
should
it?
probably actually fix that on the overlay.
That sounds great.
And if that wasn't your sly way of mentioning that, then
Nope, I think it's just a way to reorient ourselves and try and get back on
fair.
some semblance of a functional cast.
Going to explicitly ask the question of who picked the map, just so that there's no confusion.
Sweet buns. Cool.
Sweet Buns
That's
is the
Brawl's
captain of
Life.
Brawl is Life. There we go.
Did it. We did it. They also... now,
we
who
also have had a replacement coming in here. Looks like Aiko is coming in to replace I Just Fizzed on Double Paradox.
Yep. On the roster. All good. Everything looking wonderful. Casters are ready, but shaken.
Yeah, shaken, not stirred, going into game number 2. FPS Nate offering to sub for Double Paradox. Best Jimbo NA. Which means he's like the 300 best worldwide.
Yep. North America. At least they're being beat by Europe now, instead of Korea.
Does Korea even play this game anymore?
I don't think so. Not much. What's interesting is that actually all the players from Korea and EU are playing in the CCL North America. So it's like the first time we've had a unified region in a long time. Pretty much ever.
Outside
Kinda
of
neat.
like the later parts of some tournaments, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Ektar too quiet. Are you sure about that? Let's see.
Fix his first draft team before starting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, you are just a tiny bit quiet,
Yep.
or I'm just a tiny bit loud.
I mean,
one or the other.
things can be two things. I'm going to turn myself up a little bit, though.
All right, sounds good. All right. Woof. What a rocky one this has been. But you know what? First one of season 10, got to break it all back in.
And you know
I
what?
suppose.
The Rocky franchise got better over time, and so will we.
that's a good one right there. Go ahead with the Abathur ban. TLV may follow soon, as it's kind of more of a popular pick ban up here in the heroic division. Diva, though, banned throughout all the land.
Yep. Especially when Tiny Kitty is playing. AKA Ms. Pussycat, AKA Zergling, AKA 45 more cat-themed Smurf accounts.
He's more quiet than you, sir. Oh my goodness. Deathwing gonna go ahead and get banned out, so no more Drunk Dwarf Deathwing play going to be occurring this game.
I think that's a pretty valid target ban.
Yeah.
Like, he's just good in this map, too. And Drunk Dwarf was just kind of in there, not dying all game.
And not getting CC'd all game.
It's true. Not even blinded.
Nope. Nope. Those slowing sands, not a chance. They were just sands. That's it.
If the level 18 upgrade had been picked up for slowing sands, would that reduce his spell armor?
I believe so. We'd have to go check the VOD, because it was picked up. It was picked up. So
hey, first pick Junkrat. That's super interesting to me.
And that's on their sub player too.
It was first pick Chromie last game? Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, sure was.
Opting for the first pick damage dealer, which is very not how drafts in our games tend to go. It's very about the tanks getting picked up first, especially ETC for the most part.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Gul'dan Deckard
Brawl's
again.
Life saying second verse, same as the first, picking up, Gul'dan Deckard, which I don't think was the order that they did the drafting before, but it's two of the same heroes.
Yep. I believe that was 3-4 or 2-4. I forget, but it really doesn't make a difference. Here's their 1-2 in this draft, and yeah, Vanchi said while we were setting up the game, I'm going to take Deckard Cain and perfect gems you again, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know,
you're assuming that they get to level 20. It could very well happen that double Paradox pick up the win before that.
That is true.
Although All-Track Pass is a map that does tend to go late. On the other hand, it's heroic, they tend to win early.
But also are better at not dying, so it goes late. You can play this game all day.
Sure can. Also, still have Cassia and Lucio, so definitely teams are going with heroes that they like, not necessarily heroes that are great on the map. Not to say that these aren't, but the drafts outside of the Junkrat are looking very similar, and, well, Junkrat is being played by an entirely different player.
So understandable. Actually, Cassia's moved from Fizz to Albatocks now. So, a little bit different there. We got the red tint skin as opposed to the blue.
That could change.
McGruff in the chat was like, God bless. I just Fizz may rest.
Not going to have a Yrel getting picked up. That was actually their solo laner in the previous game. So really trying to choke presumably Drunk Dwarf off of some of those really strong solo laners. And the Leo was banned as well, so they're really crunching bruisers, which I find super weird. It's not something that happens very often, but on All-Track Pass you do want to have at least one strong bruiser, and sometimes even two.
Yep. We'll get Dahaka here, along with a Diablo pickup. So, Diablo, strong, good at removing the Cassia armor, and has been quite powerful in the meta lately with the auto-attack build, but into Junkrat could be a little sketchy.
On the other hand, definitely into amazing. Lucio, very nice.
True facts right there.
Lucio wall rides, Diablo wall bangs. One of those is much better than the other when it happens.
Yeah. That is factual. We've got the Wipeout playing the Malthael and the Garrosh picked up by Eladin.
I like it. Diablo is rather hard to kill, but you know what kills Diablo? Percent damage. Malthael has that in spades. And one of the things Diablo has trouble with is it's hard for him to get out once he gets in. Like Shadow Charge, unless you can charge an enemy towards your team, is not an escape ability. So Garrosh into Diablo, I think, is a good set of picks coming out for Double Paradox. But then we have Jim the Man Laner as the last pickup by Death Strikes, and you just love to see it.
I mean, I genuinely don't think you can go wrong with Jim Raynor in about 95+% of drafts. It might not be optimal in every draft, but I don't think you can actually go wrong with Jim Raynor.
Yeah, but then there are drafts where it is optimal, and they're not even that uncommon.
Yeah.
He's just so good. He's not great at most things, but he's just so good at so many things.
Yeah, and being good at many things is good in Heroes of the Storm, to be very fair.
It's true. It's why Greymane is so strong, too.
Yep, he's always been around. I always remember the Greymane Kerosene when I watch HGC 2017.
I'm so glad that I don't, because that sounds awful.
I mean, it was all the time, because Greymane doesn't have mobility and healing, and Kerosene gives them both. That's why it was so strong at the time.
Alrighty, spawning in on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, they are Brawl is Life with Sweet Buns playing the Diablo, Vivanchi playing Deckard Cain, Drug Dwarf moving to Dahaka. Death Strikes is playing Jim Laner, and reprising his role on Gul'dan is Death by Maze.
And on the right side of the map, in the red trunks, we've got Double Paradox. Check that this time. Double checked ourselves. We've got Malthael being played by Wipeout, Garrosh being played by Eladin, Albatox playing Cassia, Rucktel going with Lucio again, and Echo filling in for I Just Fizzed and playing the Junkrat.
So we do once again have the Suck build coming out, and we have the Brush Stalker talent at level 1, giving you that extra move speed when you get that trait activation.
Yeah, that's going to be good for rotating between these lanes pretty rapidly. Ultra Pass, pretty evidently a gigantic map. So rotating is always good. So, works out there. Eladin's going to miss a Groundbreaker and actually take a whole bunch of damage. Death by Maze is going to be taken out by the Fend of Albatox. So first blood for Double Paradox. For Double Paradox. Oh my god, I'm already doubting myself, Ektar. I'm doubting myself.
I've got it written in big, bold letters on my scouting sheet of paper.
I've got it on the stream now, and if I look at the stream, it's correct. I know it is.
You're still going to have that kernel of doubt, and I can't blame you because I messed it up so bad in game 1.
I just gotta believe.
Alright, so both teams are taking their camps nice and early. Slightly faster for the side of Double Paradox, but not going to be that much behind for Brawler's Life. We've got Death by Maze serving in that pseudo-solo lane role that you tend to see on this map, and Albatox as well on the Cassia. I think this is probably just a good matchup for Gul'dan, especially with the Suck build. He gets to pick up globes very easily, and it's going to be hard for Cassia to step in and do anything without giving him that value.
Yep, and he's doing, Death by Maze is doing a good job at stepping into the wave and then throwing the, Fell Flame at the Cassia while hitting the minions. So you hit like 2 or 3 minions, but also hit Cassia every time, and she has no natural regen, so that damage will stack up over time.
Yeah, a little bit of a boot coming out there. Sweetbun's actually getting a big charge into Albatox. Does rip most of the armor off, but they're not going to try and follow anything up, although a big root coming up from Deckard Cain is going to force Garrosh to pop that Unstoppable, so he's not going to have that for, what, 40 seconds? Ooh, big
45.
boop into Death by Maze. Or onto Death by Maze, but he's able to walk on out of there. Not quite getting the Groundbreaker follow-up that they were looking for.
Yeah, that had capability of being a pretty dangerous spot for Death by Maze, and the rooted Gul'dan during the Drain Life is going to be a possible target for Junkrat play, so going to be gonna have to be an interesting interaction, see how that develops, as Camp already getting picked up again by Double Paradox.
There was a rotation out of the bot lane by Jim Laner, put some damage into Cassia, who was hearthing, but decided to change their mind at the last minute, as the objective is spawning just now.
Yep.
That is
But
about a 20 or 30-second camp advantage in favor of Double Paradox, though, which is really going to serve them well during this objective phase.
yeah, they were very quick. They're actually sitting on it as it spawned, whereas Brawl's Life, not used to those mercenary camps that don't appear in some of those Brawl maps. So not quite as on top of it, but nonetheless are going to be able to pick them up and get this started. But it has left Sweet Buns in a little compromised spot. Ooh, nice ding. Gladiator's Medallion to avoid the Junkrat Concussive Mine.
So I don't see Junkrat too often, but this is not a build that I tend to see on him. Going for the tricky shuffle, getting that extra movement speed. Used to be the standard before his rework. Got a bit of an engagement tech coming from Drunk Dwarf, but another unstoppable, stopping the tongue drag from hitting out. And the level 4 talent that gives him cooldown reduction on a successful enemy hero group is not very standard as well.
Yeah, I believe the Concussive Mine build is more standard now, as opposed to something like Q, although we do have an annoying amount of stall coming in here from Eiko.
In particular,
these-
the Concussive Mine gives you vision. So you know
Yeah.
when you're channeling, you know exactly where to aim those skill shots. They did use it, but getting the cooldown reduction means that you can kind of just do it constantly. Oh my god, this is awful. And I want to
got
see
a
how
6-second
Brawler's Life
cooldown.
is going to deal with this.
It's got a 6-second cooldown, Ektar. This has got to be the most annoying thing on Earth. Garrosh gonna go ahead, pop the Indomitable again. Drunk gonna get thrown in, but the Burrow is gonna keep him alive for a little while. Lucio caught out by the Diablo, and Ruckel's going down. The whole team of Double Paradox funneled in really hard for that Gul'dan damage to tick in. And that is 2 kills for Brawler's Life and the objective. Channeling and almost certainly picked up.
Yep, we did have the level 7s getting picked up for both teams there. It is that auto-attack Diablo that has been so popular recently. It's the return of the Perfect Gems build, just like Vivanchi said that they would do. We actually have the Cold Hand coming out, and not the... There's another more popular talent on 7, but I cannot remember what it is. Massacre, that's the heal cut, right?
No, that is the Wraith Strike applies Reaper's Mark in an area
that's
on port.
correct, yeah. So...
Yep.
Probably not what I would have expected coming out from Wipeout, but it's definitely not that uncommon of a build either. And continuing the full Concussive Mine build.
Yep. I believe someone is saying that Junkrat's Qs are basically good already, and adding more utility into his kit is insane. Wow! Concussive Mine launches Death by Maze into the loving arms of Eladin, who throws him even farther back, displaced half a spectator screen for the first kill. Sweet Bun's now in a pretty compromised spot. And what a...
I've never seen a more elegant serve set spike coming out from a team.
That's what I'm here to see. Oh, that's very good, as the cavalry are in, taking down the front walls of every lane, and I think that's all they'll get in every lane.
Yeah, Deathstrike's not really able to step in onto Albatox. They're kind of low. Vivanchi does get here to give him that extra healing, and Diablo is looking for an engage. They find the route onto Cassia, and that is my dogs.
That's the dogs going crazy as Albatox goes ahead and gets locked down, but does survive. Drunk Dwarf misses a tongue. Rain of Destruction coming in for the second time this series. Nobody dead yet. Malthael is out, split soaking though. So if nothing's gained by Brawler's Life, they're going to have the advantage. But they do go ahead and pick up this bottom 4 as the ults are picked up on both sides.
So we've seen all of them with the exception of the isolation coming up from the members of Brawler's Life. We do have the Rainer's Raider once again currently dead, but it will be back relatively shortly. We did see the APOC as well. And then on the other side we do have Last Rites. We've got Warlord's Challenge, we've got Ball Lightning, Beat Drop, and the Riptire. So all the expected ults on the side of Double Paradox, and all of the ults we would have expected having seen the first game coming out from Brawler's Life.
Good qualifier there. I like that. Yeah, I'm really liking this Garrosh Malthael combination into Diablo. Now that ults are online, because with the Warlord's Challenge and the Last Rites and the percent damage, they should just be able to get the Warlord's Challenge, press R, and have the whole team burn him down in enough time for the Last Rites to make the kill happen. So,
that's one of those...
strong capability, because there's no yeah, self-healing for the Diablo when he
Oh,
silenced. Rip.
that's not where you wanted to walk.
Nope. Bush Party has found an old man as an invitation. That's how I died in Diablo 3.
You cut off a little bit there at the end, Ace, but that's okay. One thing I'm really looking forward to seeing in this game is the coordination on the last rights. It's one of those actually really high skill testing abilities to use it before it's going to get the kill, knowing that the damage from your team should get it the rest of the way. Because in a lot of cases in the lower ranks, they push it when they're already like at 10% health, and it's basically just getting a stack and not actually doing anything. Here at the higher ranks, you can get a stack and put in a significant chunk of damage with it, and that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing executed. Speaking of being executed, that's going to be a big wallbang onto Wipeout, but does get saved by Lucio there. Beat drop comes out, maybe a little bit unnecessarily, but you know what? Better safe than sorry after a Diablo engage.
Yeah, especially when they're down a player as well. That was just kind of out of there. It was just a lot of save me buttons being pressed. Sweet Button's going to go ahead in with the RQE combo. Echo very close and is taken out with Total Mayhem going off, but they do trade out the Gul'dan again. That's pretty common there. Sweet Button's very low and within... ooh, there is no last rights available, so there's no real escape or no kill pressure there, but Raynor does go down, and it looks like Double Paradox walking out the better side of this fight. Lucio going to go ahead, speed boost the team to try and catch up to Sweet Buns. He's going to go ahead and pop the Gladiator's Medallion to not get CC'd any further, and that'll allow first channel of this objective to Double Paradox.
We did have the 13s getting picked up during that team fight. We have the Super Pots once again. Deathman Maze putting in a lot of damage into Alvatox, but not going to find anything resembling a kill there. The Unstoppable gets popped as they get caught in the Scroll of Identify, and that is going to be the secured channel for the members of Brawler's Life, as Double Paradox are pretty much in full retreat right now. And also,
yep, they have split Malthael up to try and grab some Soaked Dwarf in a spot to get a nice tongue. Ooh, what a medallion from Wipeout. Predicted that tongue, pressed the ding button, and had no problems dealing with that.
I wonder if the Inevitable End was off cooldown at the time, because that's a much shorter one to use.
Oh, that might be true. It made the higher pitch ding sound, so it's probably Inevitable End. You are... Nope, it wasn't. It was Medallion.
It looked like Medallion. I'm just surprised that he used it there. Actually getting the Diablo charge to stop Echo from finishing the ult. There is the kill, getting that last 20 or so % out onto Diablo, but that looks like a follow-on kill going into Garrosh. Huge beat drop is going to save him for now, and they find a kill out onto Gul'dan instead. Diablo's already back up, but he's basically paper mache at this point. Drunk Dwarf's going to get booped back in by Echo, and that's going to be another kill out onto Jim Raynor. Drunk Dwarf barely dodging the concussive mine there, is running for his life, and he's got that movement speed to maybe do it, but Rukdal's going to chase him down. And that is 4 total kills going over in favor of Double Paradox, and they want a 4 and a channel and some damage.
And they can do that. They are allowed to do that with all those player kills. Huge beat drop there from Rukdal. I was very worried after the stay a while and listen came through that the Gul'dan damage was just going to pile up, and we're going to see like 3 or 4 kills with all the heroes piled up at the very end of that. But the beat drop really kept them alive during the last bit of that fight and let them turn and get a kill before the beat drop wore off, allowing them to weather that storm. So great job there on the beat drop.
You know, I was really worried actually going into this game with Double Paradox losing literally their captain due to illness and bringing in a substitute player, that this would just kind of be a rollover and Brawler's Life would just take the quick wham bam thank you man, but it is not showing up like that at all. Double Paradox is here to play, and they're playing really well.
Yeah, unlike the last game where we had 10 kills for each side at the 10-minute mark, we have 9 kills to 3 for Double Paradox. They've got 5 in this top lane, and they mean serious business up here with the top 4.
We do see the Rain of Vengeance coming out, almost being used just to zone out the members of Double Paradox so they can get the clear out onto the cavalry. They do get that. Death Strike's barely not getting thrown in by Echo there. But that leaves very little real damage being done. Mid-fort, I think, was already done. And and not getting any real damage from the objective, but a team fight has ensued, and that's going to be a pick out onto Garrosh. It looks like it's going to be a fallen kill onto Junkrat. Albatox is looking to get a counter kill onto Death by Maze, but just too much suck. Gonna keep him alive, 3 for nothing, and with just barely any cavalry left. They're not even stepping in to clear the cavalry. They're just stepping in to take the fort, and this is the type of thing I love to see in these higher tier games. They're like, we don't need minions. We're heroes. We can just take buildings ourselves.
Yeah, I love seeing teams take it, like, genuinely capitalize on their advantages. And that's, I think, one of the biggest differentiators besides just direct team coordination and mechanical skill is taking advantage of your advantages more than getting more from your advantages and taking less damage from opponents.
I feel like there's a saying you're trying really hard not to say right now, and I'm disappointed.
Is it win ahead, get more ahead?
Of
is that what you're trying to say there?
Artosis,
yeah.
the Socrates of our time, spouting out such wisdom. There is a boss coming out for Brawl is Life. Double Paradox knows it's happening, and they're in position to do something about it in time. The boss is down at about 15%. Brawl is Life have backed off. They keep it from leashing fully with the Lucio, but there's the full heal leash. Neither team's going to get boss or any significant bench. Big tongue drag coming out onto Garrosh. He gets silenced, but the beat drop is there. It keeps him alive for now. He's able to walk away unless the Rain of Memes gets him. It does not. Another engage coming out onto Echo. Puts him right into a concussion mine. He's able to get himself booped out as well. Albatox on full retreat. Lots of damage taken on both sides, but more damage taken by Double Paradox.
Jeez, what a crazy time, and it's not going to be over yet. Brawl Life going straight back to the boss, saying, you're hurt, you had to back. So we're going to go ahead and take this, and it's going to be burned down very quickly with Gem Raider with the Exterminator. And that's going to secure the boss and another tongue drag right next to the concussive mine. Not close enough, though. Ruktal and Echo taken out. And now this is really swung in the favor of Brawl's Life, just as we were praising Double Paradox. Unlucky.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to send Gul'dan to clear out the objective and start channeling on it. They have 4 members still in the top lane looking to get some damage into this keep wall. Maybe steal their opponent's Null camp, and they even brought Death by Maze back as well, so they really want to commit some damage to this push and try to get a keep here.
I don't see why not, really. They've got a full health boss. They've got the Rain of Destruction again. 70-second cooldown's pretty short. And look at that keep damage that's already been dealt. I mean, that's
boss hasn't even started wailing on it yet.
Yeah, I mean, that was all Rain of Destruction damage. It does good siege damage. But you also generally need your... Horrify's just kind of amazing. Let's just be real here.
It's true. It's the teamfight ult, and that's what a lot of the game tends to be about, but doesn't have to be about that. A lot of buttons getting pushed in the mid lane to give those different unstoppables. I believe that was inevitable, and in one trinket getting used for the members of Double Paradox. Boss is actually still on core. It's not going to get any permanent damage because it's not how the map works, but it's something that Brawler's Life maybe could have thought about committing to.
Yep, but you know what? They've got level 20 now, so they can pretty easily go ahead and just take this objective without too much issue, unless Double Paradox really makes some magic happen. We have the Demonic Circle coming out for level 20 at Gul'dan.
There it is right there.
That is...
Dwarf.
Yeah, sure enough, hiding in the bush there.
Big engagement coming out once again onto Garrosh. They're going to pop the Unstoppable and the Taunt. A lot of damage over. Huge beat drop once again is going to save him for now. Kosti gets brought down instead, and the Tongue Drag is going to hit onto Eladin, and they're going to fall. The Unstoppable gets popped, but it is not going to save you from that gold damage. The boot comes out just a second too late. Death by Maze is going to be fine. And, yeah, it's going to be really difficult for the members of Double Paradox to stay alive at this point. There is the cavalry coming down in just a couple of seconds. Random Destruction gets popped out into the keep, and that is 2 keeps down and the objective, and this is looking really bad if you're a Double Paradox fan. And now it's looking even worse.
Yeah, with double keeps down and 4 members down, I think this is just kind of game even before the objective shows up. There's enough damage here that Gem Raider can just smash into it repetitively, and at 20 armor, plus even if they all white tier the objective coming in, this is going to be a clean 2-0 here for Brawl is Life.
Yep, not quite getting the damage into Ructal to get that very last kill, but it was definitely a very brawly series. I mean, I guess that's what happens when one of the teams is literally called Brawl is Life, but really well done by both teams.
Yeah, I feel a little bad because I'm pretty sure I just caster cursed Double Paradox when I said when we both were like praising them, they looked a lot better, don't have their captain, but it's okay, they're doing great. Immediately lost every team fight from then on and lost the game within 3 minutes. So, I mean, RIP. You win some, you get cursed some. You're not even on the hollow for it.
Yeah, Cursed Hollow, in fact, banned out.
Yep. So, 12-9 in terms of kills at the end of that game. And we'll try and get Sweet Buns or a designated appointee from Brawl is Life / Double Paradox. We still couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
for an interview.
Certain it's Brawl is Life.
I'm
Not
fairly
100%
certain
though.
at this point. Unless the website's lying to us.
You know, websites have lied to me before.
Yeah. There's one called reallyrealtruths.com, and it lied to me, and then I haven't trusted anything in my life ever again.
If that isn't a website about fishing facts, then I would be sorely disappointed.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Hello, and congratulations on your 2-0 victory, and we're so sorry once again for calling you the wrong team name for all of Game 1.
Oh, we're not worried about it. We're not too excited about Brawler's Life title as well. Personally, I'd like Big Breakfast for a team name.
I mean,
What
you
about
had,
Double
like,
Paradox, though?
There was like 30-some kills in that Game 1, and you tell me you're not a fan of Brawl is Life. That was literally the whole game.
Oh, Double Paradox is a pretty alright name. I can dig it. And as for, yeah, 31 kills. We just have a lot of generally aggressive playstyles, and the philosophy that like being aggressive and feeling around where the edges are is the fastest way to improve.
You know, that's a really valid point, and it kind of goes into that high-level player mindset. Like, I remember watching June, and when a new hero comes out, or hero rework comes out, he just feeds his ass off, figuring out what can I do on this hero, what type of shenanigery can I survive, and, just really kind of almost inting until they can figure out what they can get away with.
It's not only how big your health bar and how good your escape is, it's the ratio of how your escape cooldowns relative to your enemy's threats.
Exactly.
Which you only need an instinct for.
So, tell me a little bit, if you will, about this suck build Gul'dan coming out in both games.
Oh, yeah.
I never see it. And in the very few instances that I do see it, I never see it work. And it's worked twice tonight.
Even though we were taking the suck build Gul'dan into Wakasia, who could have whipped out a Valkyrie, and a Junkrat who could have like been doing better with the mines onto Gul'dan. But okay, our frontline pressure is something that keeps Junkrat off of Gul'dan very well, and the suck build does give a lot of extra range to that W. We commanded both of our frontliners to make a wall. We established that we don't care about the backline. We're not counter-engaging. We are just protecting our pretty boys in the backline and out-trade them.
I will say, that sounds totally valid for game number 2.
Oh, yeah.
For game number 1,
absolutely.
going into the third objective, your team had 11 deaths and 6 were on Gul'dan. Which isn't anything against Death by Maze. It was just an observation of the way Double Paradox was fighting into you.
I mean, a lot of them led to counter kills as a thing.
True.
So
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's one of the best parts about Gul'dan, I'd say. Well, especially with stuff like Horrify, if you're trying to get a big commitment and clump onto him, immediately punished by Horrify. Death by Maze.
You didn't pick Horrify. Obviously not you, but your team. Is that a thing that you run with regularly?
That's like the Death by Maze special. Death by Maze has been running up, down, and all around Gul'dan solo queue, hitting up the high GMs with a suck build for single target execution. Suck build might be the greedy build. He's kind of been turning me around on it. Think of it like Tassadar, where your forces stand still and turn for the extra damage. As for Reign of Destruction, I'm not completely sold on it myself, but he's pulling it off. I just think Horrify is that good, especially if you have the follow-up, whereas Rain of Destruction might be the better solo queue talent. My opinion. Death by Maze is all about it, though.
All right. Very interesting to me. Ace, do you have any thoughts about game number 1, other than Suck Build, Reign of Destruction, and Bloodbath?
I know Vivanchi was POV streaming that. I'm kind of interested. Why the Deckard Cain when he, by all statistical measures, has fallen off the table into a pit? It was played well. I mean, the first fight on the Regen camp, you specifically, Sweet Buns, got, I'm pretty sure, 12 mini potions, which is 2.5 ancestrals worth of healing at level 5.
Oh yeah, the Rubies carried so many fights there.
But why besides those kind of more niche scenarios, why the Deckard?
Deckard is a very greedy, high follow-up, high sustain healer with a downfall of not having a cleanse, which in midst of high level play you see all these pit comps running right and forth. That's why he's falling off. But here they're not running pit comps. We established what their draft was. Okay, we had Deckard high enough in the draft, but we saw Junkrat. Okay, we're a lot less afraid of this. We can take big beefy bodies in front, and if they're going to try to commit to getting the single target picks, that'd be a huge draft swing for them. All right. And something we'd be able to build around a little extra, or perhaps build their draft, but better.
So then, in game number 2, it seemed like for maybe the first 2/3 of the game, they were actually kind of winning convincingly. At one point, it was 9 kills to 3 when they were pushing down top fort. And how was your team able to kind of rally back and bring it into winning the bottom objective?
I pretty much don't recall any negative emotions at all. That might have been like right after Garrosh got a really cheeky flank to a bush or something. Yeah, I'm trying to recall the exact details here, but we weren't down about it at all.
Yeah, Vivanchi was walking towards the top objective area on your side of the map, and just Garrosh came out from a bush and Vivanchi died real fast.
Mm-hmm. I definitely say the collective mental tenacity of this team is definitely one of the things I love most about them. You get a quick my bad. Everybody's been through plenty of stuff. So and we've all been dumb before. And if it is dumb, even we understand the circumstances of how the decision is being made, and we'll talk about it a little bit if we got the time to sort of quantify and qualify, make sure we can do something better. But there hasn't been any tension in there.
You love to hear it. I have been known to turn into a Salt Lord from time to time, but generally we on our team try not to. But we're only human, and sometimes you just gotta turn into a Salt Lord.
Here's a pretty good example. When Junkrat popped Riptire and I charged him as Diablo to interrupt it, thus hard committing the fight. They were able to collapse on me quite sufficiently and take me out and snowball the fight out there after Junkrat got this god tier mine, which split both DPS across the map, one on the other side of the wall, Raynor in particular. Goodness gracious. But yeah.
I know exactly where you're talking about, and that was a really impressive play that, by all accounts, I thought was going to lead to a Junkrat death, and instead it ended in 4 kills going over in favor of Double Paradox. It was really well done by them.
Indeed. That was a decision all of us agree that I was in the wrong, but we all get why I did it, and why I went into Unga Bunga mode to get that down.
All right, Ace, anything for the rest of game 2?
Nope, I think that's about it for me.
Alrighty, so looking ahead to the future, next week you're playing up against Richard and Ree. Have you done any scouting information on them quite yet? And
that's a personal question.
I don't want to ask, do you have any secret strategies you want to bring out, because it's a little bit too insider info, but what do you think about that?
Let's just say we have some very flexible players.
Ooh, you'll love to hear it. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for questions and comments about the series. So, gonna give it on to you for shoutouts.
Alrighty. Thank you, Vivanci, for carrying about like 14 fights with rubies alone. Thank you to Death by Maze for kind of rocking that single target DPS, destroying them with those corruptions. I noticed so many early game 3-hit corruptions. General high skill level, some fantastic shot calls that put us on the aggressive. He made the core call on bottom when we were when all of us were iffy about it, about to go mid even. Thank you for Drunk Dwarf for rocking that front line. It's such a hard role, and he barely died at all. Thank you to Death Strikes for being our PvE slave. In addition,
every team needs one. If you don't have one, get one.
Oh, and of course the Deathwing in game 1. We just said they don't have percentage base pre-20. Slam that, and goodness, Drunk Dwarf rocked it. Let's see, Death Strikes always rocking the follow-up. We were able to shred the front line each and every single time because of them, as well as like whenever picks came up spontaneously, they were great with the reactions on it. I'm gonna keep you a while. Here we go.
Right.
And thanks for me for bringing in the fun.
Yeah. And you know what? Thank you to Drunk Dwarf for actually coaching other teams in NGS.
Yeah.
I know he was he was the too calculated to throw coach last season. I don't know if he still is. But I know he coaches like at least 3 or so other teams, so what a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Shout out to you, Sweet Buns, for casting us like 6 seasons ago.
I want to get back into it. It's
a good time. I haven't done it yet just because I'm lazy and have to reset everything up every season. I just have been putting it off for 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the interview. Thank you for coming by again, Sweet Buns, and good luck in the rest of your series.
Thank you very much, and have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you so much for playing.
I like the cutoff. It's even better.
He did mention in the coin toss that he had a soundboard.
Yep, he sure did.
And I thought for all the world that I had just opened a Twitch stream when I was looking for somebody to raid, because I know someone who uses that as a subscriber notification, and I thought I didn't turn the sound off.
Yeah, well, you got there. I don't see any other NGS matches live, unfortunately.
There are not, but I know Girls Gank Squad was going on earlier. Let's see if that's still a thing. Yeah, I can't really tell, but you know what? I have a relatively friendly relationship with Tiny Kitty. I mentioned her earlier as the Diva One Trick, so make sure if you ever see anyone with Cat or Kitty in their name in Storm League, you ban out the Diva in the first round.
That's what you do anyway right now.
That's where we're going to send the raid on over to. True, but she was doing it before it was a meta thing.
True fact.
So,
alright, thanks for watching.
I have not started it yet because I'm terrible at it. I was just searching for people, and there's the start raid button, which means that it'll be like 18 seconds until it actually happens. Right?
I think it's, yeah, 10-second wind-up period.
I hit the button, and then the menu went away. Something went wrong.
Very cool, Twitch.
Nice. Cool. Let's try typing it in chat.
They changed their global font today, and everybody freaked out.
I can see that.
I don't like it, but you know what? I mean, it's wider. It's like objectively wider.
There we go. The interface is just in a different spot that I'm used to. Let's move
Oh,
that
very cool.
back on over to there and hit the raid now button in just a sec. Thank you everyone for coming by, and yeah, we'll try to do this again real soon.
All right. See you.